on the news hour tonight, the broader issue is this. At some point, it appears that India's politicians don't care about calamities because they don't identify with the human toll that it takes, and hence they want to give photocopy replies when incidents like this happen and move on. Before I go into our panel, I want to go straight across to Shri Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, who was Chief Minister of Uttarakhand for a period of 808 days between June 2009 and September 2011. Mr. Nishank, can you hear me? This is Arnab Goswami here.
जी 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 मैं सुन रहा हूं।
निशांक जी, मेरा पहला सवाल आपसे यह है कि आप जब सरकार में थे तो आपने जो किया उस पर फोकस अभी आ रहा है। तो मेरे पास जो कागजात हैं उससे पता चलता है कि 2011 में आपने बड़ी कड़ी तौर से एनवायरनमेंट मिनिस्ट्री का प्रपोजल था कि भागीरथी नदी के पास सारा जो इलाका है इसको इको सेंसिटिव जोन किया जाए। आपने इसको अपोज किया। क्या आपको लगता है कि आपने गलती की? क्या आपको लगता है कि आज आपको उस जगह के नागरिकों को और भारत के सारे जो दर्शक हैं हमारे, उनको आपको माफी मांगनी चाहिए कि आपने ऐसा पोजीशन दिया? ऐसी गलती आपने क्यों की निशांक जी?
पहली बात तो मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि ये जो प्रस्ताव आपके पास है इसका थोड़ा सा अध्ययन करिए आप। और दूसरी बात ये कि जिस क्षेत्र की आप बात कर रहे हैं वो क्षेत्र दूसरा क्षेत्र है जहां की ये इतनी बड़ी त्रासदी हुई है। और तीसरी बात मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि केवल उसको जोन को घोषित करने से ये पर्यावरण संशोधित नहीं हो सकता। इसकी कीमत पर कि पर्वतीय क्षेत्र में सब काम बंद कर दिए जाए, यहाँ पेयजल भी उपलब्ध न हो, रास्ता न उपलब्ध हो। तो मैंने तब भी प्रधानमंत्री जी से और जयराम रमेश जी से बात की थी कि पहले एक बार अध्ययन तो कर लीजिए। आप 80 आज 60 से लेकर 70% इस पूरे उत्तराखंड में वन क्षेत्र है। 30% ही क्षेत्र ऐसा है जिसमें मकान है, दुकान है, शहर है, गांव है।
पोखरियाल जी,
आप यदि इस 30% क्षेत्र को भी प्रतिबंधित करना चाहते हैं तो क्या आप इस बात का प्रस्ताव,
बुरा न माने,
आप पहले मेरी बात सुन लीजिए ना। आपने एक सवाल उठाया है तो पहले आपने सवाल उठाया है तो विषय इस बात का आप पूरा सुन लीजिए।
आप बात समझिए। आप ऐसी बात ना कहें, क्योंकि आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि बिना अध्ययन किए मैं किसी भी बात को उठाता नहीं।
नहीं गलत। आप इस तरीके से क्यों बोल रहे हैं? मैं ये कह रहा हूं यदि मैंने हिमनद प्राधिकरण की बात की थी,
पता है आप गुस्सा
यदि मैंने ग्रीन बोनस की बात की थी,
गुस्सा क्यों हो रहे हैं?
आप दोनों बातों को मत जोड़िए ना। मेरी भी तो बात
आपको पता होना चाहिए कि इको सेंसिटिव जोन्स जो है वो डेवलपमेंट को अलाउ करते हैं रेगुलेटेड मैनर पर। आप चाहते हैं कि अनरेगुलेटेड डेवलपमेंट हो, ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता। और इससे मैं प्रोफेसर महाराज पंडित है इधर, वो आपसे सीधा इस पर जवाब देना चाहेंगे। प्रोफेसर वुड यू लाइक टू रिप्लाई टू द पॉइंट दैट इज मेड? आप हिंदी में ही उन्हें कह दीजिए प्लीज।
नहीं
पोखरियाल जी, एक दूसरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू सुनिए।
पहला विषय
पोखरियाल जी आप सुन लीजिए प्लीज। प्रोफेसर जी, मैं दूसरी जगह नहीं ले जा रहा, जहां ले जाना चाहिए इस मामले को वहां ले जा रहा हूं। महाराज, प्रोफेसर महाराज,
पहली तो यही बात बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है कि उत्तराखंड में या पूरे हिमालय में 60 से 70% जो है वो फॉरेस्ट कवर है। ये एक दिस इज ए मिसप्लेस्ड नोशन। इसको हमने 2007 में बंक किया था। ये सारा गलत है। दूसरी बात ये है कि जिसको फॉरेस्ट कवर कहते हैं कि फॉरेस्ट हैं, वो फॉरेस्ट लैंड है। उसमें फॉरेस्ट है कि नहीं है वो अलग बात है। उसमें पत्थर हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि नदियों के जो साथ में जो एरिया है जिसमें बोल्डर्स पड़े रहते हैं वो भी फॉरेस्ट के अंडर है। ठीक है, तो जब इसका एरिया मापा जाता है तो उसमें कहते हैं कि चलो ये भी दिस इज ऑल्सो फॉरेस्ट, बट दैट इज दोज आर टेक्निकल थिंग्स। लेट्स नॉट गो इनटू दैट। आई डोंट थिंक इट्स Himalaya has been continuously deforested since British Raj. I have been saying it and it continues till date.
पोखरियाल जी, मेरा दूसरा सवाल आपसे यह है कि 2 चिट्ठियां मिली हैं। एक चिट्ठी है जनवरी 2010 का और दूसरा चिट्ठी है जून 2011 में, जिसमें बार आपको सरकार दिल्ली से कहा जा रहा था कि मिस्टर रमेश पोखरियाल, why don't you act against the illegal river bed sand mining mafia? आप माफिया के खिलाफ क्यों काम नहीं करते? और उस वक्त देयर वर लॉट्स ऑफ मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स आल्सो which talked about how the mafia was going on. तो मिस्टर पोखरियाल, were you scared? क्या आप डरते थे इलीगल माइनिंग माफिया के खिलाफ आप कुछ काम करेंगे तो ये माइनिंग माफिया आपके खिलाफ हो जाएगी? आप क्या उनसे डरते थे पोखरियाल जी?
आप इस बात को आप फिर गलत तरीके से ले जा रहे हैं। मैं हमेशा माफिया के खिलाफ रहा हूं। आप गलत पत्र का, जयराम रमेश का कोई इस तरीके का पत्र मेरे पास नहीं आया। जयराम रमेश जी मेरे बहुत अभिन्न मित्र हैं, लेकिन आप गलत
तो जयराम रमेश का नाम भी नहीं लिया,
उठा रहे हैं।
मैंने तो जयराम रमेश का नाम भी नहीं लिया।
आप फिर उस बात को लेकर
मगर एक चिट्ठी है जिसमें कहा गया है that it is unfortunate that in spite of my repeated requests no effective action appears to have been taken by the state government to stop illegal riverbed sand mining.
सारी चीजों को जाने बिना आप जिस लाइन पर इस बात को ले जा रहे हैं वो अच्छा नहीं है। आपने ये तो विषय ही नहीं उठा था। मैंने तो सबसे पहले वहां की परियोजनाओं को बंद किया था ना। मैंने तो प्रधानमंत्री जी से मिलकर के जो जल विद्युत परियोजनाएं थी उनको मैंने कहा 2000 मेगावाट उत्तराखंड को फ्री कर दीजिए, ताकि हम अपने इन जल विद्युत परियोजनाओं को भी, जो आप कह रहे हैं कि डैम नहीं बनना चाहिए, चलिए हम देश के पर्यावरण की सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से ये आहुति भी देंगे। उत्तराखंड का जल, जंगल और जमीन ये देश के काम आता है। औसतन एक परिवार से एक व्यक्ति सेना में भर्ती होकर
मैं हैरान हो रहा हूं, और यहाँ का मैं हैरान हो रहा हूं पोखरियाल जी कि आप बिल्कुल हैरान हूं पोखरियाल जी कि आज आप ये भी मानने को शायद तैयार नहीं होंगे कि 2009 में आप जब मुख्यमंत्री बने थे, अगर इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन, मिस्टर पोखरियाल, आर यू स्टिल देयर? मिस्टर पोखरियाल, आर यू स्टिल देयर? Because you became chief minister on the 24th of June 2009, right? And there was a CAG report. CAG report में कह दिया था कि ये प्रोजेक्ट्स प्लान नहीं हो रहे ठीक तरीके से और फ्लैश फ्लड्स होने वाले हैं इसके कारण। क्या आपको इसके बारे में भी कुछ पता नहीं था? बताइए मुझे।
आपको मालूम, आपको
Did you not know about the CAG report also?
को चिट्ठी लिखी, आपको शायद ये मालूम नहीं। मैं आपको सूचना दे दूं कि मैंने स्वयं प्रधानमंत्री जी को चिट्ठी लिखी, और ये चिट्ठी लिखी कि ये पर्यावरण के संशोधन की दृष्टि से आप ये करिए, लेकिन उत्तराखंड के गांव अंधेरे में नहीं रहने चाहिए, यहाँ के उद्योग भागने नहीं चाहिए। यहाँ को 2000 मेगावाट बिजली, ये जयराम रमेश जी जब हरिद्वार में आए थे तब उन्होंने हमसे सहमत हुई थी कि आपकी बात से हम सहमत हैं, 2000 मेगावाट बिजली उत्तराखंड को फ्री।
आपने तो इतना तक कह दिया था,
और मैंने स्वयं अपने हाथ से चिट्ठी लिखी था।
आपने तो इतना तक कह दिया था पोखरियाल जी, शायद आपको याद नहीं है। मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं कई लोग मर चुके हैं, ये भी सही बात है, लेकिन आपने उस समय ये भी कहा था अपने चिट्ठी में
600 मेगावाट बिजली वो चालू रह जाए,
ये भी कहा था। आप मेरी बात सुनिए। यू नो व्हाट यू सेड मिस्टर पोखरियाल? यू सेड दिस इज अ रीजन नेक्स्ट टू चाइना एंड दिस इज अ सेंसिटिव एरिया। आपने कहा कि चाइना के साथ बहुत सेंसिटिव एरिया है और हमारे इस एरिया में लोग गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ नहीं हो जाने चाहिए। और आपने यू यूज द पीपल मिस्टर पोखरियाल, आई एम सॉरी टू से दिस, यू शॉट ऑफ द शोल्डर्स ऑफ द पीपल मिस्टर पोखरियाल, एंड आई डोंट थिंक इट इज राइट फॉर यू टू हैव डन दैट। शाजिया इल्मी कुछ कहना चाहती है आपको आम आदमी पार्टी से, प्लीज शाजिया गो अहेड।
पोखरियाल जी, आपको जरा से भी आपको लगता नहीं थोड़ी जिम्मेदारी लेनी चाहिए इस बात की कि जो कुछ भी नीतियां आप बनाने के लिए हैं वहां पे, और वही बात आपने कही थी जो अब बहुगुना जी कह रहे हैं, तो आपको लगता है थोड़ी जिम्मेदारी लेंगे कि अगर आपने पर्यावरण की भी फिक्र उतनी की होती जितनी विकास की बात आपने की थी, तो शायद इस तरह की हालत नहीं होती। और मेरा दूसरा सवाल, ये जो पूरी मिथ्या बना रखी है आपने कि विकास अलग है पर्यावरण का ख्याल रखना अलग है, ये झूठ मूठ का बिल्कुल ही मायोपिक और सिंपलिस्टिक।
हिमनद प्राधिकरण का गठन करने का जो लक्ष्य था वो उसी बात है। हिमनद प्राधिकरण देश का क्या दुनिया का पहला प्राधिकरण हमने गठित इसीलिए किया।
पोखरियाल जी,
और जो
पोखरियाल जी, अभी आपको मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूं,
और वो इस पर्यावरण को संरक्षण की ही दिशा में।
पोखरियाल जी, पहले तो मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि आप हमारे प्रोग्राम में इधर आए। दूसरी बात मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं कि एक तरह से मीडिया और लोगों की नजर भी नहीं थी कि उत्तराखंड में क्या हो रहा है। अभी तो काफी नजर होगी, पुरानी चीजें निकाली जाएंगी, पता किया जाएगा किसने क्या किया, और मुझे लगता है कि सारे चीज की एक सीबीआई इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए। इतने हर चीज की सीबीआई इंक्वायरी होती है, तो इस चीज की भी सीबीआई इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए कि ये सब कैसे हो गया इतने दिनों।
बहुत अच्छी बात है ये,
और मैं जानता हूं कि आप भी इसको समर्थन करेंगे। तो रमेश पोखरियाल जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Thank you for joining me. Let me now introduce the other members of our panel. Nalin Kohli of the BJP, Tehseen Poonawalla of the Congress Party, Rajesh Kalra, Chief Editor of Times Internet, one of India's best known bloggers, and Chetan Bhagat, well-known author. I think the bigger question is this, and I'd like to start with you, Chetan. There seems to be a sense of indifference towards tragedy. We are immune to tragedy in India, as long as it does not hit us. In any other country, such a calamity would have happened. You would have expected a different response, not a diffident response. Chetan.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, first of all, Arnab, I think it's sad and unfortunate that we have to debate this right in the middle of the tragedy. But unfortunately, 3-4 days is all we'll get to give attention on this issue. So we have to do it. I think I'm going to say something. I'm going to come to the politicians. But I think somewhere down the line, I want to just make one very important point that people haven't made. You know, it is part of our Hindu culture. Whenever we go to a pilgrimage, I've seen it happen, and I'm sure you have your relatives who say this, that whenever we get bad infrastructure, bad roads, bad arrangements, we say, you know, God is testing us. And we feel it's okay. You know, it's like jitna mushkil ho raha hai, utna acha hai. And कष्ट दो अपने आप को, and therefore we let a lot of people get away with doing a sloppy job. These are our holiest sites. There is no religion in the world which treats their holiest sites like we do. I love Hindu religion. I like the fact that I can suggest improvements, and it's a great religion that way. But we are treating these sites, whether you go to Banaras, Mathura, there is a lot of filth, lack of hygiene, and this is just unbelievable. This is the Char Dham Yatra, and anybody who goes there has a harrowing experience because the infrastructure was poor, and today it's gone this because we have tolerated this. We tolerate it, we think it's okay, we think it's getting us closer to God, and today when all this happens, then all of a sudden we become scientific and we are talking and we're getting professors there and listening to them. We never listened to them before. Now coming to the politicians, it is unbelievable how the country has become. I mean, it's not development versus environment.
Totally.
Both can coexist. They do exist.
Some things tonight.
And I think it's just unbelievable how little we value human life. I mean, just because we know the kind of contractors that are appointed by the government, and we know that it's only in a disaster we see that they all did a shoddy job, and in 3-4 days we'll forget it. But ultimately, you know, it is these people who control lives of so many people, and they just are sitting there pointing blame. I pray to you guys, don't make it a Congress BJP thing today in the debate. It'll upset a lot of people if you start pointing fingers. It is a human tragedy, and we need. There is no Congress, there is no BJP, there is India, and India is suffering.
May I say one thing to you? As I said a little while earlier, I don't care whether it's Congress, BJP, CPM, CPI, Aam Aadmi Party, BSP, SP or any party. But I don't think I am going to let the political parties off the hook simply by saying let's not politicize it. Because I'll give you one reason why I don't want to do it. And I want either Nalin or Tehseen to answer me directly. Because there is something called a Model Floodplain Zoning Bill circulated to states in 1975. It has not been implemented yet. Answer me tonight. This bill seeks to replace dwellings in low-lying areas by parks and playgrounds, and so far only 2 state governments of Rajasthan and Manipur have enacted suitable legislation in this regard. I am going to ask these questions tonight. Why do you think people will not ask you the questions? Because Tehseen and Nalin, the reason why Indian citizens are helpless is because of official lethargy, because of politicking and pathetic systems in place, all of which the political class must take responsibility for. Nalin and Tehseen, would you like to respond to that? I can give more examples if you wish.
Whom would you like?
Either, why don't you start?
I don't mind, Mr. Goswami.
Please.
I think that's an important point you've raised. And certainly there's some merit to it also. The fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, of course, politicians have an accountability. They are every 5 years answerable. But that does not remove the accountability also from a permanent structure, which is bureaucracy. There's a lot more.
You want to shift it to the bureaucracy?
I'm certainly not. I said...
It's very convenient,
Not at all, Mr. Goswami. You've made an assessment. It's not. I'm just simply saying, like the bill you picked up, there must be many other such things. As there are norms for everything, the norms have been made. You have experts on your panel, I'm sure.
What norms?
No, on everything
what norms?
there is a norm.
What
there
norms?
Is a norm on
the worst flood in
followed.
100 years happened in Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh in 2009. Now let me tell you what happened there. It's a Congress-run state. You know, first of all, I want to tell you with the greatest of humility, I don't get confused with all this official garble of norms and, you know, proposals and committees and things like that. And I think people have seen through this. I'll give you a straight example. Let Tehseen answer that.
No, but just...
No, because first of all, these norms, place, rules, rule book, committees, they don't impress the people anymore. What happened in Kurnool was this. The district administration ignored 2 warnings, handed it over to it by the Central Water Commission on the same day. And you know what the result was? 20 lakh people in Kurnool and Mehboob districts were affected. More than 50 people died, thousands were displaced. Why? Because 2 warnings were handed over and not acted for. And I suspect, Mr. Poonawalla, that you will agree that somewhere the political class represented by people like you feel, what's the big deal if 50 people die? Thousands are homeless. These kind of things happen. Well, if you object to it, then tell me why it happens.
I'm sorry.
Then tell me why it happens.
I am sorry, you cannot say that. That is wrong. You cannot say that.
Mr. Poonawalla, first of all, I want to tell you one thing.
First of all,
Mr. Poonawalla, don't this righteous indignation is not the answer.
No politician in this country, irrespective of any political party, will say it's all right if even one life is lost. And I think Nalin will back me up on this.
I'll tell you
every politician goes through a test every 5 years. The will of the people is represented to the political class. Please do not come up with fantasies that politicians say that it's all right if a few people die. I am sorry, that is a very,
you know, if you look at the mafia, if you look at the contractors, no, I would like to say something.
Your sister concerns, Mr. Goswami, have been criticizing the government, whether it's the BJP or the Congress government, criticizing governments for going slow on environment clearances. At that point, you all give the example of China. At that point, you all talk about 8% and 9% Chinese growth.
Mr. Poonawalla, first of all, 1 second, please. Let's calm down. The point is this. The point is this. Okay, suppose I take your and Mr. Nalin Kohli's righteous indignation.
Nobody says
allow me, please. I say today, I take your righteous indignation at face value. And I say that, yes, Mr. Poonawalla and Mr. Nalin Kohli, you are right. And everybody else who thinks political class does not care is wrong. I still want to know that SOS fax messages were sent in before 2008 by engineers at the Kosi Dam, warning there's going to be an impending disaster. They fax after fax piled up in Patna on every bureaucrat's desk, politician's desk, nothing happened. 1. Now let me tell you the second thing. There is this Ganga Flood Control Commission. Okay? Now you care a lot, right? So you tell me. This board is empowered to devise and supervise flood control measures in the Ganga basin and its 23 sub-basins. I am told, and I am horrified, that it met after 11 years. It met after 11 years in 2011. And there is a person who's chairman of this board who was asked, there were numerous floods. He was asked, why are we not meeting? He said, there was nothing important to call a meeting of the full board. I want to ask you, who pays your salary? To the people who run these boards? Are they cosmetic? Yes. So that some bureaucrat somewhere gets a bungalow and a subsidized car? Answer me. Either of you answer me on this.
No, I'll make it absolutely clear.
Yes, please. And no, indignation was not there.
No, there's no indignation here, Mr. Goswami. I'm saying it absolutely. There has to be accountability in the system for everyone, and politicians included. Started with the politicians if you want. There is no issue about it. And there is no righteous indignation either. The fact of the matter is that I've just pointed out in the beginning, yes, we are accountable as politicians and we do go to the people with this, but I'm saying everyone has to be accountable for the job they do. Really? It's not about shifting the blame. And if this is not callousness, it's happening every day. It's happening. It's not a question of BJP.
The problem is that all that happens is finger pointing.
No, it's not.
After the disaster,
not pointing fingers.
After the disaster, what happens is finger pointing. What happened after Kosi floods in 2008? Nitish Kumar passed the buck to Lalu and said he have not done enough to bank it. What happened in Punjab in 2010?
So
Shiromani Akali Dal They blamed it on the Haryana government and they said this is propaganda. Congress beat Akali Dal government at war. 22 people died, 33 people died. Nothing matters. The political war matters. I want to go to Rajesh Kalra. Rajesh Kalra, just tell me, give me a sense today. Hear the voice of the people. You see, Rajesh Kalra, tell me today. You are a person who blogs. You are on the internet. You are in touch with the way people think. Tell me, how are people thinking?
And are politicians not in touch with the people?
1 second, please.
Are they not in touch with the people? Just
politicians, Mr. Punawala,
by your logic, are they not in touch with the people?
Mr. Punawala, thank you for attempting to take on the role of the of the interviewer.
No, but
I would answer in response to your substantially rhetorical question that we wish politicians were a little bit more in touch with the people and the way people think. But let's get Rajesh Kalra's sense on how people are thinking about this. Mr. Kalra, how are people thinking about
what's happening is, I think our politicians still live in the world which was, say, 30 years old. They have no idea how people are looking at everything now. The pace at which they get exposed these days has been obvious in the series of things which have happened. But the worry that we have is, I don't think they are learning anything from this. For example, I don't understand this whole tamasha of having aerial surveys where the Prime Minister and the UPA chairman and today the BJP president and Nishank, who you were talking to, they all go and look at it, from a distance, 5,000 feet up in the air. Poor visibility, you can only see cloud and a meandering river flowing underneath.
This is rhetorical.
What the hell is happening?
Why is it
can't you actually let that chopper be used for rescue operations?
Precious resources.
The Prime Minister of the country, the President of the leading party or leading opposition does not have to see if the disaster management is going correctly. They do not have to see the villages are
No, I am not saying he does not have to see.
The Prime Minister, the leader of the principal ruling party, going and surveying the wreckage is symbolism. And if they don't do it, then the
I'm sure, Mr. Punawala, it's not a dictatorship yet.
No, that the Prime Minister of the leader of the opposition is not even concerned. So either way, the politician loses and internet gurus are the ones who are in touch with people.
Mr. Punawala, go back to the substantial point. Let Rajesh Kalra complete. Okay, what's it?
Kalra finish. He's making a fine point. Mr. Kalra should finish.
Let Mr. Kalra finish, yeah.
No. See, what I'm saying is, if really these guys were above petty politicking which they are so used to, if they really wanted to send out a message to the people, why couldn't the Prime Minister, the leader of the opposition and anybody else who really mattered, why couldn't they go in a single chopper and say, okay, this is what we see, let's sit together and make sure that the place is taken care of, people are looked after well, because the kind of things, No, let me say something. Arnab, I did my mountaineering training from Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi. I know that area like the back of my palm. I have gone there so many times for trekking and for cycling. And I can tell you, from a helicopter, you can see nothing. From 100 steps above where I am trekking, if I look down, I really do not know what is happening there. It is that big. You only need foot soldiers who can get you the right kind of information and then pass it on to the rescue teams who will come and do the work. To have these 10,000 feet flying up in the air, these are nothing but photo opportunities, and they're completely, they're ridiculous. These are the things which disgust the common man, and they have started seeing through it now.
And unfortunately, they take the taxpayers' money. There is a solidity to that point.
It's our money.
And now let me make another point. My information tells me, Shazia, that the greatest disaster in India are the disaster management authorities in various state governments. And I had a representative yesterday from the National Disaster Management Authority. The NDMA and the SDMA are the biggest walking disasters in this country. And I'm going to just one point, for example. On every state, you can, from Andhra Pradesh to Gujarat, BJP, Congress both come together when it comes to the disasters they run there.
True.
In Andhra Pradesh, for example, you will find it interesting, Mr. Abid Rasool, according to the CAG report, out of 168 cyclone shelters constructed, 99 are not in usable condition. 144 buildings identified as dilapidated, only 5 were demolished. And I can go on and on. Every state. What allows this?
Absolutely.
What allows this? Has environment become, managing the environmental issues itself become a corrupt activity now?
Well, I think everything has become corrupt. And it's just not that. There is no choice. Somebody just mentioned this fact about elected representatives. Now, the fact of the matter is, and it's a big
Mr.
point.
Mr. Poonawalla did, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Poonawalla did. So, if they're elected representatives, are they allowed to make policies which are against people, which are in an area
Good
which
point.
is ecologically fragile?
Let
So
them
just-
answer.
No, and I agree with Chetan's. No, I agree with Chetan's point that there is a sense of fatalism in us, which makes us extremely tolerant.
Yeah.
But the answer is political, because the policies are made by politicians
Absolutely.
and the executive. So should we allow, and it's a big point I'm making and something contentious, and both of you will jump, should we allow Pokhriyal's, Nishanks and Bahugunas of the world to make and have such discretionary powers
Absolutely
to make
not.
policies in an
Absolutely not.
eco-sensitive
Answer
and
that.
fragile area?
Let's get both of them to
No,
respond.
but if you're building a
Clearly
road,
they're incapable of it.
you're building a road, the same media and the same media channels and the same
Really?
sister concerns of media go about saying China's building roads on the border. If you were to build a road, and I'm taking off from where Mr.
Am I
Nishant
telling you,
is,
It's not
is
such a
anybody telling you not to make a road?
Such a puerile,
No, no, it's a puerile
simplistic
argument.
It's such a puerile and a
Making a road.
simplistic
How is
argument. Don't pit basic development against
They can go hand in hand
rapacious
and you will get the right result.
development. I mean, come on. It's not even development.
Okay, Nalin,
You
please.
have to hear out.
Yeah, Nalin.
Come on.
There's a part to this. I say, and I'm repeating the point again, it's a question of accountability, and I'm saying it again and again. Politicians are not excluded from
Completely.
accountability. You may not buy that, but I'm saying it again and again. Number two is, it's easy to point fingers. It's okay. And if something is wrong, please do. There's no harm. Now, Shazia raised a point, and she made an aggressive point against two chief ministers, former and existing. I'd like to say that, if I want to get down to fingers, the Aam Aadmi Party has suggested, written in
It's
a
not
letter.
about
Ma'am,
that.
let
You
me
got it
finish
all
my
wrong.
point.
No, come on,
Let
You didn't
me
get my
finish my
point.
point.
You didn't get it.
No, I don't think this is right.
You didn't get it.
I mean, I just don't think you can point a
You are
finger,
doing
you don't
that.
even have the patience to listen. So I'm saying it, your president,
How united
no,
the two of
you all
you are.
said it, that let us stop paying our taxes and take over development of our own region. Now, if I may extend that, there is no difference in the Maoist philosophy. They
Oh
were
my
disgusted
God.
with the
What
work
an
being done there. So, hold on.
Extrapolation. Another absurd idea.
I'm just saying,
I mean,
everyone can point
really, you
fingers.
can't trust these
Everyone
people.
can
This
point.
is what they come up with.
Nalin Kohli,
So my last
how
point.
many state governments, let me ask you a general knowledge question. How many state governments does the BJP run today?
Well, I mean, we exclude Bihar now. We are running 4 of our own and 1 in coalition with the Akali Dal.
All your state governments, all these 5,
Yeah.
have been told by the Environment Ministry, submit specific proposals for the declaration of eco-sensitive zones around your national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. And you know what is common to all the BJP and Congress state governments? You know what is common? All BJP and Congress state governments have not responded to this very specific request.
Fair enough.
No, Congress and BJP dragging their
not
feet.
fair.
And I want, it's not fair
No, it's
enough.
a fair
Because
enough.
one day there will be
Hold on.
another disaster around one of these areas.
It's very
And you
serious.
cannot be united in your protest. Professor Maharaj.
It's not about united, Mr. Goswami. The point I'm just and I'd like to add to this. It's a story of both.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other. It
I-
has to be a story of both with accountability to both ends.
Yeah, but then both
So, I
of you
mean,
can't
no,
come
sorry.
together.
Even the same
Both the
media.
BJP and the Congress
No.
can't come together
It's not about
and
coming
start
together.
targeting the activists, the media,
No,
anybody
sir.
who asks
No,
the
sir.
questions.
Even
You
sir,
can't do that.
On point, I'm saying it. The media,
they-
the cover
they
story
got
of India
together as
today
soon
was
as-
green terrorism. That is
No, one second.
hold
Now,
on.
don't. You know,
I am
I'll tell you
not-
one thing.
I'm not
You
saying
don't
it is-
shoot off the shoulders of
I'm
the media.
not shooting
Professor
off the
Maharaj,
shoulder.
no,
It is-
Professor
it's not.
Maharaj
It's
is
a matter of
responding.
balance.
He wanted to respond to you in a minute.
Has the
Absolutely.
media criticized the government for slow environment?
The media has not criticized the government. The media has never told the government
all
and never,
compare the government
allow
with
me,
China.
the media has never told the
Showing you the
political
mirror,
party,
that's all.
clear illegal constructions. The media has never told the political party, allow the sand mining mafia, allow the timber mafia, allow these constructions to happen.
Absolutely.
Don't respond to Environment Ministry proposals. And I say this, Mr. Poonawalla and Mr. Kohli, the media has never told the governments, ignore the CAG reports, put them into the dustbin, do what on earth you want to do. I don't think the media has said that. No. There is a balance which you're not trying to
Gone
make.
wrong. They don't.
Professor Maharaj, 2 minutes on the debate.
You are right. You're right.
To Professor Maharaj.
As a politician also on record said to do any of these.
Okay, what's the problem?
Good politicians too. You can't.
I have many, and I can give you the letters right here. I think you've not been watching Times now last few days. Professor Maharaj, respond.
Can I say something, please? Can I say something,
Rajesh
please?
made a significant
Can I say
point.
something?
You
Can I
see,
say something?
I don't want to go into this
can I say something?
blame game. They can do it
Yeah.
in their time. Clearly, there are no standard operating procedures in place.
Yeah.
clearly somebody in Uttarkashi, let's call it DM, let us call it SDM, let us call it corporator, let's call it anybody, let's call it, then you can go to clearly somebody has not done his duty, who has not seen to it that how these huge rampant mushroom buildings have come in the middle of the river. In the middle. Now they have not come overnight. They have not come overnight. So somebody has to take responsibility.
I think they need to. I think they need to. But another point which I'd also like to sort of acknowledge is that it's also a question of the attention on these issues that is given in the media. And I acknowledge to that extent. And that point I do acknowledge that, you know, Chetan, I see what happens unfortunately in our country. You know, we began to get awakened to gender rights issues and rapes when what happened in December happened. One second. Now,
when it happens,
do you think the citizenry of this country, of which you are a very active member, Chetan, will continue to keep up the pressure on these issues? Because that becomes part of the concern now. Otherwise, unfortunately, people will want to go back to the way things are, and the same indifference to loss will become a part of our lives. Chetan.
Well, I hope they do, because just look at what's going on. I don't see any empathy. All I see is defensiveness. All I see is pointing fingers at each other. If nothing else, blame the media for everything else. We are in the middle of a tragedy, and I see our leaders not showing any empathy. They don't care about people. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about God. They don't care about science. All they care about is, I don't know, to protect themselves and try to make as much money as possible, or try to curry as much favor to their friends when times are good, and when times are bad, just blame the other person. I mean, it is so sad. Is this what our society has become? People are dying as we speak.
Mr. Rasool,
and all you guys can do is, there is not one word of empathy.
Chetan, you made a good point. Let Mr. Rasool respond to you, because we've got a couple of minutes only now. 1 minute on the debate. Mr. Rasool.
Yes. First of all, I could not hear what Mr. Chetan has said. And secondly, I would like to say that the Uttarakhand disaster was, as you are terming it to be a man-made disaster, I think it was a state-made disaster, where you allow 500 projects and then the illegal mining of the sand to build those projects, and then you allow the buildings to come up there. So definitely I feel there is a requirement for a CBI probe, as you have said, into the period when these have come up and why they have come up. My stand is clear on that.
Well, let's have an investigation, but not end it at an investigation alone. Totally short of time. Quick points.
20 seconds at the most. I think the point here is, please also simultaneously, while this happens and we seek accountability from the system, from the politicians. Let's keep it only to the politicians. Please continue. And it's a good thing. The second part is, why don't you all also come up with constructive things in terms of how it could be improved? Like you've pointed out today, Arnab, you have. Mr. Goswami, about the 1975 pending or this. Please bring these things up. Things will happen, just like in the Nirbhaya. We
are not governing the country.
No.
The people who are, we are asking the questions, but we will ask the questions. We will ask the questions.
And second is, Mr. Bhagat, you know, on this program, you are saying about finger pointing, but I'm saying it on the record. If you had seen probably 2 preceding debates, you would have said we were empathizing. So we are human beings and we do empathize. You can run us down as human beings.
If there is empathy, then people will hold you to task on what you do.
Absolutely.
And there will be a narrow focus, microscopic focus on what you do.
But you can't run us down because we are human beings first.
There is no running you down. There is no politician bashing. But politicians must realize there has to be some accountability at some point. You are not above accountability. I thank you all for joining us on this debate on the News Hour tonight. Thank you.